Hello, everyone. Welcome to another episode of AFM Podcast, Season 3, Episode 2. Today, I'm proud to present our honorable guest, Mr. Jon Barnes, aka Avengergram. Um, Nice to finally see the man behind the legendary Hot Toys tangible photography page, Jon. Jon, how are we doing today?
Yeah, a bit of a work, so yeah, chilling.
Yeah, that's good to know. I'm also joined with AFM admins Phouminh Rahul Dhiman, and Instafigurine. Thanks for joining in, guys, as well. So, without any further ado, I'll start the podcast. So, Jon, we're just gonna ask a few basic questions. Firstly, I'll start. So let's start from the beginning, Jon. Right? Like, how did the awesome page called Avengergram start? And sort of, you can tell our viewers what inspired you to start your collecting journey, and tell us a bit about yourself as well.
Yeah, sure. So I moved to Hong Kong from the UK in like 09. And
Nice.
I mean, you can't really live in Hong Kong without seeing toys and collectibles everywhere. It's it's a bit of a paradise for fans of pop culture and media. So I think I'd begun doing a bit of gaming, and one of the games, like Xbox games, came with a little statue of, I think it was Splinter Cell. So I had a little Sam Fisher statue, and I had it on display and thought, this is quite nice. And then sort of discovered all these like shops. Hong Kong, you won't really find them in the malls as much as you'll find them in these like little backwater places. Saw some figures, started collecting, and then when I picked up my first hot toy, I couldn't really take it seriously. To take photos of it, I wanted to do something silly with it. So I think one of the first photos I did was a friend of mine, like a joke Christmas present. I'd got like a little toilet, and I did the first comics I did, which was Thor putting Mjolnir on the toilet, and then Spider-Man being able to lift it up. So silly situations like that. People liked it, and I thought I can make a page out of this then, and that's where it took off.
Yeah, I think that's a legendary pick. We all, when we start searching for pictures on Instagram or Google for toy photography, I think that's one of the first one which pops up. So that really clicked for you.
Yeah. I think at the same time, I'll be honest, I think I got the idea from like some cosplayers. I think it was like Loki and Thor at the time. So I recreated that. It was like a rock, paper, scissors with, I think when I got the Hulk, it only really comes with relaxed hands and the fists. But then the Iron Man had fully articulated fingers. So I did like a rock, paper, scissors with Hulk. That was one of the first ones I did. But a couple of them blew up pretty big early on. Yeah. And I remember that back then as well, there was a big toy photographer called HR Joe, I think it was. And I had some inspiration from him. I don't think I did anything similar to what he did, but I was certainly inspired to do more things. Yeah.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, I think that's a pretty good start for your collection and the journey for Avengergram when your first click comes out nice, and you've been inspiration for a lot of us. When we want to click hot toys, we know how hard to articulate them, and with the bigger figures, it's always get a little tough. Okay, so so next question is from me, though you have kind of answered, but so you already answered which was your first figure, but did you collect anything else apart from Hot Toys, or Hot Toys was the brand which was your first go-to, like 1/6 scale?
Yeah, I mean, when I was a kid, I liked Spider-Man toys, but then once I moved to Hong Kong, I think I found a little shop that did the McFarlane Spawn figures, and they don't articulate much, but really look very, very cool. So I got a bunch of those to begin with. Still got them somewhere. Did some photos of them. But the first figure I think I ordered the Avengers Mark 7 Iron Man, and then while I was waiting for it, because I just like at that point I'd never ordered something where you have to wait 9 to 12 months for it to arrive.
Pre-orders.
I think I picked the first Avenger Captain America, because I didn't really like the Avengers suit, the tight Avengers suit that he had. Ordered Hulk. Thor came like sort of quite quickly, so I just had the big four, and I think I got the Amazing Spider-Man Spider-Man, which has a bit of a different look. But those were the first ones I got. Yeah.
But just to continue on that, so what inspired you to be more towards 1/6 scale? Because there's so many scales. When I was newbie, I had no idea what these scales are, and when I started collecting, they were all over the place, different sizes. So, was it Hot Toy? Was your initial go-to thing?
I think it was Iron Man. Yeah, I think a friend of mine had a couple of the Iron Man toys. The Iron Man Hot Toys looked so cool.
Yeah, they do.
Light up functions and stuff. So. And I think at the time I'd just moved to Hong Kong and I had sort of disposable income, so the price of them, of course, is steep. I didn't have a lot of other things that I was into really, so I had a bit of money to work with.
Definitely.
Nice.
So that's always a challenge. Yeah. Johnny, go ahead.
Oh, sorry. So John, your Instagram page has a strong identity. How would you describe your style or theme as a collector or toy photography? And let's take a look at some of your awesome work on IG.
Sure.
Awesome.
Again, like it started with comics, but then as I began following more toy collectors, I could see, what I was going for was just compose something where you can get the characters in there. And then tell a little story. But as I started following more toy collectors, they produced really, really high quality candid images. So I wanted to improve my photography skills, use different colored lights, things like that. So I did then begin, doing more candid shots. So what I do now is I do 3, because the Instagram grid is a nice way to sort of portfolio your work. So I do 3 sort of candid shots, and then I'll do 3 comics, and then 3 candid shots, and also it gives me a little bit of a sort of a schedule. So because if I don't create something, I get sort of frustrated with myself. I want to do something useful with my time. Cool. So I tend to do sort of 3 candid shots, 3 comics, 3 candid shots, 3 comics per month. And that sort of keeps me busy, gives me something to aim for, doesn't let me get too overwhelmed. Yeah,
that's a good plan.
Definitely. I think definitely. You're creating these stories and concepts with these Marvel, DC figures. It's really nice to see that comic book feel. When I'm scrolling through the slides, it feels like I'm reading a comic, and that's been made with Hot Toys. So yeah, it's pretty nice. So I'll take over, and we'll just have a look at your Instagram, John. So amazing, 94K followers, 2.8K posts. That's a very nice Instagram.
Wow. So it wasn't like 100, it was 127 at some point, but it did, and that's fine. Like I think Instagram has changed over the past 3 years or so since they moved into Reels. It moved away from sort of photography, which is it's disappointing. It does give you a bit of a reality check and a bit of an ego check to be like, the number of likes, the number of followers don't really matter. I think obviously with the dip in interest in Marvel, it's partially there. So, but it's a good thing to remind yourself, like, who you're doing this for, and I just love doing it for myself. It's a shame that with this it's got 4 panels instead of 3, so you can't see my beautiful grid, but that's okay.
No.
So firstly, let's take a look at your best shots of 2025. So can you tell us a bit about these shots, John, like starting from the Ghost of Tsushima one?
Yeah, Ghost of Tsushima. So that's my second trip now to Japan on my own. I have a break in October where both my wife and kid, they're still at school, so I'm on my own. And like my wife encouraged me just get away some while the flights are cheap. So I went to Tokyo the year before, and I went to Osaka this year. And Ghost of Tsushima is so cool. So I had like 4 days wandering around, just finding these really picturesque spots to take photos, and that's just a hassle. So it was baking hot that day, but I got a really good few shots of Jin. Yeah, definitely. The next one is around when Captain America Brave New World came out. that's the regular Hulk, and I just had to key it and change the color. But what I tried to do there was I tried to use like particle, real particle effects. So I used a spray can, an air duster to get that dust in the air. You've got to use continuous shooting mode to capture that. And I had to find a place where the dust was just right, and there's not always a lot of places like that. And I got a parking ticket that day, I remember. But anyway, I had to take a bunch of props with me and a luggage, and then it took a long time to set that up and get the shot. Yeah, the bat bike one is just in front of the telly. So I just got some screen grabs from the Flash movie. That's a big bite. And I had to balance that all in front of the telly. I still had to like edit and key some things in. But
is this the Bane 1.0, right? Like, or the 2.0 Bane?
That's actually, I think that's a third party Bane, I think, actually.
Oh, the Mars choice, I think,
Something like that, yeah. But those turned out quite nice, yeah. And then that was just Superior Spidey again in front of the telly. It didn't really need anything else with it. It's just a great figure on its own. And then Goku again, it's the same Osaka trip. Just really vibrant. I've only really gotten into SH Fig Arts.
SH Fig Arts, nice.
Yeah, because I didn't want it. Like once you've got 1/6 and you've got so many props, then moving into 1/12, you're like, well, I can't cross these things over. But I love Dragon Ball so much. I couldn't help it. And then Wolverine Deadpool again. I think that was just in front of the telly. Tried to get as many dynamic poses as possible.
Yeah.
What do we
just
got?
Trying to pull up the shot.
I think I've got a mix of different stuff.
A mix of different photos, All right, so then the Ripley one,
The Ripley one is, that's a diorama that I made from scratch.
Yeah.
So, part of it is the ubiquitous something or other spaceship bit, which I modified a bit. But then I created an alien hive based on from Axiom dioramas. He makes these really amazing alien hives.
Oh, Axiom, yep. I've been seeing his works on AFM, yep.
And then that's the feral predator. I think that's the Assassin's Creed Connor, but I stripped him down to be shirtless there, and that's most of that is a physical diorama that I've made.
Yeah, nice. That's awesome. Let's take a look at some more photos. The Groot's looking pretty nice. What's the story here? Like, you're expressing the Groot for your trips, like using the Groot.
Yeah, like Groot is a great one because it's a good one to be able to take on holiday for holiday photos. I started doing that with Spider-Man years back, and they were really popular photos, and it was really fun. It meant that instead of going on holiday and taking a selfie with some tourist site, which is a bit boring. You can do something creative. And I've been to so many places where I've struck up conversations with people, either with Groot or with Spider-Man. That one right there was someone right next to me who took a photo of their own little toy.
Nice.
That was Shanghai.
Nice.
And going to Japan where you don't often bump into people that speak English, but having them walk past and say, "Oh, Groot," it's really. And then I think my hometown in the UK, I took some photos outside an arcade, and the owner got in touch with me and said, "Oh, please come back and do it again. I'll give you a free ride on the merry-go-round." And then another cafe. They obviously I don't live there, but my mum goes there often, and they say, "We'll give you mum a free coffee if you can get some photos in front of us." It's a good opportunity. It's good fun.
Coming to the comic book style photos, there's one example here. Do you want to say something about this one, John?
So there's a whole bunch of diorama pieces that I made there as well. So right behind Stark is it's a piece of plexiglass etched with a Dremel, and then put an LED into it so it lights up. The table is something I bought. The back wall is pieces of an old fish tank, an old terrarium. And the desk is I think it's
as well.
Yeah, there you go. You can see what it looks like.
Behind the scenes.
And that's just a little story about Santa, I think, that one.
Yeah. It's a Christmas Eve post. Yeah.
Yep.
That's very nice. Seeing this practically done, especially the LED table. With the AI and all the editing softwares these days. Without this BTS, first look, someone might be thinking, oh, it's probably AI generated. All these things. So it's
the
good of you to
floating
input
holograms. I've added
BTS.
those in later. I think I used
Yeah.
it was like an Iron Man hood app, HUD app or something.
Yeah.
So I'm not against editing and adding bits and bobs, but obviously you can see.
And a little bit of addition is fine, but this table, it's insane, John.
I didn't make that one. That one I bought, but the other table I did make, and then the thing behind him as well.
It's pretty nice. Yeah. So let's look at some more. Oh, this is one setup I always liked. You've got this shop where I've seen a lot of shots. So could you tell us a bit more about these boxes of toys, John? How you are making these ones?
Yeah, that one came together over many years. Yeah. So I mean, the shelves. There's a bit of like mini wooden shelving I bought. Some of it's made out of cardboard. I cut it together myself. Some of that I ordered online. The mini Hot Toys boxes you can get from Hot Toys, like when you go into the shop. And then there's a bunch of and there's a bunch of ones that are like you get them in toy shops. They're called the world's smallest. But then some of those are printed. The boxes are printed myself, and then most of the little props are from like capsule machines, little toy stores. So some of those are like Disney capsules. Little Gundams, little Lego, just years and years and years of picking up little bits and bobs here and there.
Oh, this is insane. Like when I see the BTS, like it just feels like so much work has gone behind setting up this one scene. It's just insane.
Yeah, and then when one of the figures falls over and knocks everything over, that's
that's a disaster. Yeah, that's I was looking for
the amount of space it takes.
Sorry?
I said the amount of space it takes for 1x6, you need a massive space to put everything there.
Massive dioramas, yep.
Yeah.
Here's another story of Shang-Chi. Thanks for coming, Mr. Rand. The art is being targeted. I understand. I'll see you. This is what we need, for more collectors. Making these stories like conceptual or stories that looks like a comic. I'm reading a comic book. Here's a bit of BTS. Do you want to tell us about this? What motivated you to create this scene, John? And I see the background stuff. Like that's really sick.
I'm quite So the Sanctum is one of the only dioramas I've got set up full time. So I've only got 3 environments that are now on shelves and they're there permanently. So the Sanctum is one of them. And my wife helped me get these nice glass cases online. And then I just sort of filled them with archaic bits and bobs, got some shelves, got some other stuff. And that's a great little place to be able to shoot a Doctor Strange comic. I try not to shoot the same characters or location too frequently. I like to have like a variation. So, but I'll dip into the Sanctum every month or so. That particular story is, none of the comics really take anything seriously. So I basically do it as a 4-panel comic with 1 or 2 punchlines. And the punchlines at the end, there's a serious situation, you've got this rising tension, and then at the end you've just got like, well, no, it doesn't matter.
We brought you here because your company owns the building and the pipes have been leaking for 6 weeks. that's a funny punchline.
It's good to bring back in characters that people haven't maybe seen, like in the movies or in the series for years. And then the fact is that people aren't really very fond of this version of Danny Rand. So the fact that he's a bit of a punchline himself is it's unfortunate for him and for the actor. But it's good to make fun of him a bit.
And what's unfortunate is Hot Toys never made a Wong. This is the third party Wong. I don't understand the logic of Hot Toys never releasing a Wong. He's such a prominent character that shows up everywhere.
It could be licensing things maybe, but I think But at the same time, other toy companies have got a Wong, so they, Benedict Wong must have approved his likeness to other toy companies.
Definitely. And this is obviously from the latest, inspired probably from the latest trailer from the Avengers Doomsday Thor.
Yeah. So I've sort of got 2 punchlines in that one, just him being in the toy store, and then I've
without buying too many toys.
I recreated Cyclops' big eye blast at the end.
Oh, nice.
Sorry,
yeah,
buddy.
you look nice in this suit. Yeah. And I like that Stan Lee's the one selling the toys. It's just such a nice click. And you've combined both trailers. I see, like, so that you can't. It's new Cyclops is out of stock. I see a bit of BTS here. Yeah, this I've always wondered, like, how intricate the details are in this diorama, like, because we do see a bit of shots done in this. So it's really good to hear from you, like, you've put a lot of work into this, years of collecting and making up this little store, like, that works for 1x6.
I mean, it takes an hour. That's all put away. That's all stacked up in a shelf there. So it takes.
You have to set it up.
Yeah. I have to, like, as I say, I've only got the Sanctum, the Batcave, and the Stark workshop as permanent, like, exhibits. The rest of them, I have to put it together every time. Yeah.
Wow, this is awesome. Let's talk about the Ghost of Yute. I think you've made this one quite recently.
Yeah, this one's nice.
Diorama, and I've seen you've loved the game. Like, would you like to tell us a bit about this? Like, and we'll go to the Cherry Blossom one as well. I think there's a Cherry Blossom diorama as well. Like,
yeah, I mean, those Ghost of Tsushima and Yote games are just phenomenal. They're so beautiful. Yeah, really just works of art. And I did this with Ghost of Tsushima when it came out like 5 years ago, where I used the photo mode from the game. And I think I made this diorama for that. Like, so I made this diorama 5 years because I wanted to set it up a bit. And I made a little Tory gate and things like that. But then Ghost of Yote came out, and there was no real news that they would make the figure. I think the company, maybe it was VTS that made
VTS toys.
Yeah, maybe, but I think they've gone a bit quiet recently, and there's been a couple of figures recently that were cancelled by those companies and their sister companies. So I decided, like, I'll try and make it myself. And I went to a fabric street in Hong Kong, so I bought managed to get like that black stuff, which I had to texture it with like wax. Made the mask out of that using like putty clay. Stitched the kimono myself, stitched the pants, and they've got the pants, like, I've actually got like lines in them, like crease lines, which I had to iron. Made the hat the hat together. So put low, made the shamisen, the instrument as well, and then put loads of effort into it, and then putting it on a scene like that with the leaves. We have a plant street in Hong Kong as well, in Prince Edward, where you can go and buy flowers, and those are like dried flowers. Put it all together, put the leaves there, and I just sat there and looked at it. And my wife walked past.
Yeah,
and was like,
it's
wow,
when I see this BTS, it just feels like, I'm involved in the shot. It's just nothing's edited. It's just so naturally done. It's just awesome to see, like, and knowing that you've carved this figure out of customized, it's just awesome.
Yeah, I'm really proud of those ones. So I think I did yellow for this one, and then I did another one. It was Chinese New Year, so I did some red.
Is it
I did
this
red.
one?
That's the first one with the Tory gate. The next one, where you can see the back BTS as well. The cool thing is about photo mode, you can change the weather, change the angle, change all of the so it's so cool. And I mean,
so is this on the PlayStation? Like this
it's on PS5, yeah.
Oh yeah.
And that's sort of how some films are made. Like, I know the movie Oblivion, the series The Mandalorian, they have these big sort of screens. That's how they shoot it. Yeah, the red one. It was Chinese New Year. A horse. I popped a horse in there. They turned out a bit dark, those, but still quite nice. Those walls are relatively new. I've not used those much yet. Really heavy.
These are foam, made with foam, right? The walls and stuff.
No, I bought them. They're made of like a poly clay, like really stinky stuff.
Oh, poly clay. Yep.
Yeah.
Yep.
But they're quite nice.
Now this, I really like this shot, especially the cherry blossom, like tree over here, and then the background. It just sort of blends in so nicely. Just
I mean, like in game, I had to walk around and find some red trees. So, like, I'm wandering around in the game trying to find a place where I can shoot.
Oh yeah.
Unfortunately,
that
like Instagram hid those. Like, not many people saw those. And again, I'm not looking for the likes, but having some comments, having some feedback on it is nice. And unfortunately, I didn't get much on them because IG just didn't.
IG's algorithm is a bit messed up at the moment, and they've limited the hashtags to 5 hashtags per post, which was which sort of reduces our reach, I think, when they've done that, like so. All right, so there's another panel here. Is this like a green screen diorama you have, like?
Yeah, it's just a piece of green paper, and just lets you look at like what would it look like on the set of the Avengers,
of Doomsday. Yeah.
So Stanley works in a toy shop. He's also the director.
Yeah. Really nice. Got a bit of Venom's shot here as well.
Yeah,
there's a couple third party.
Yeah, I can't remember. Maybe it was Toys Era or something that made that.
Yeah.
But the good thing about the telly comics, I've got a few of those where some characters are watching TV, and then every once in a while I can reuse it and just put a television program that sort of gained people's interest at that time. And my wife is watching it and watches this Korean dating show. And
Singles Inferno, the Korean TV drama. Yeah,
I can't really stomach it myself, but people like it, so it's something funny. And then, I mean, the Superman ones worked out quite nicely as well. It's a really nice looking figure.
Yeah, definitely. Let's try to go a bit down to see some of your initial works. Before we do that, let's look at the diorama. Yeah, this is the alien diorama you're talking about.
This one, I'm really happy with this one. And this is one where you can combine a bit of smoke as well. And if you can get the smoke to settle on the ground, so you've got to turn off the aircon. I'm in this little room. I've got to switch that off and sit here sweating and get the smoke to settle. And if you move too quickly, smoke moves. Yeah. So obviously,
this fire flame is So this fire is edited in, or just?
Yeah, I didn't use real fire that time. Yeah.
Good choice.
Real fire would be a bit. Yeah, so
you've still got to.
You've
got to light it from a certain point so that the fire looks like it's going on. But that diorama, I was really happy with the hive bit, and I've got to give credit to Axiom for.
Shout out to Axiom Dioramas.
Yeah, my process ended up being completely different because he's got these really nice foam crafting tools, and I do use foam and polystyrene and stuff. But a lot of that was like air dry clay, and then I just coated it in this sticky gloss.
Awesome. Is this the new Romulus alien, or I think it's Alien Warrior, isn't it?
Yeah, that was the Alien Warrior because that was a few months ago, or it was last year. That is probably the worst hot toy I've got. It's really doesn't do very much at all, but it looks great.
Yeah, definitely. Slide a bit down. Here's the Batman shot we were talking about. Your top favorite shot. Here's the BTS.
Yeah, that was a luggage.
Pretty simple. See, this is the thing about toy photography. It's all about the placement. Like it's simply placed and it's placed in such a way that the background and the figures sort of blend in. So that's the skill I think that's needed.
I did have to do the unthinkable there. That is the Justice League Batman, like the tactical Batman, and I had to cut his head because I'd asked for the new Batman. My wife got me the new Batman, and I hadn't looked carefully. There's two versions, one of which has a movable head, and the rest don't.
Yeah.
So I ended up using that one, which is it's not my favorite suit, but it made more sense to me for him to wear that on a bike because it's got like extra armor. So I cut the head off.
Yeah, that's right. Is this the 2.0 of the Justice League?
Oh, wait. You cut the head off.
Yeah, I had to cut the head off the Justice League tactical suit. Yeah. The head doesn't move.
That is some
the head doesn't move.
dedication.
So you can't like lean him forward and pose it because he'd just be like this. Yeah.
Yeah. No, that's awesome. Yep. That's the Batman. Let's go down a little bit more.
If you look at the
It's
Robin on the bike there, you can see a bit of my back cave.
Yeah, this one. Yeah. Let's talk about this one. Is this the Batcave diorama?
But yeah, the Batcave diorama is good fun. Yeah, it was. I made that a while ago. It's just crumpled paper.
Oh, nice. So these bats we see are also like paper, or these are.
Those are from the Morbius. The Morbius set.
Yes, the Morbius. Yep.
Yeah.
And that's the batsuit is in the. I like that you put the armored Batman, and I think where it's placed, it's from the Bruce Wayne and the Alfred True Pack, is it? The armor.
That's a third party one as well, actually. I don't have that. I found that in a shop somewhere, picked it up. It came with a lot of missing pieces, so I had to like make little like guns and stuff to begin with.
And this bike is from the Batman Robert Pattinson's movie. Yeah. Very nice. There's some more brute shots. I need to start doing it like when I travel.
The Dragon Ball ones, that
Dragon
took a
Ball.
lot as well. So the Namek shots, I made all of Namek. Not all of Namek. I made a lot of Namek. And that was really rewarding because what you're making there isn't something to be photorealistic. You know, when I make something, usually it's supposed to look realistic. But you know, that's what a cartoon looks like. So I had to change the way I do things.
Oh, this is insane. This definitely looks like Namek.
Yeah, the lava is it's just light underneath, and then I took my kid just to look at the pet shops. Like we wandered around and have a look at the pet shops, and he saw like transparent gravel and black gravel, and like fish tank gravel, and he's you could use that, Dad. so I got some, and then have smoke hover, and I just can't believe how authentic it looks.
Is the smoke being put in the diorama? Very nice.
Wow.
Yeah, that was great fun, that one.
Yeah, I think using the real lava would have not been that good.
That's my first time making water as well. I'm going to try and do a bit more of that maybe this week with regular blue water. But again, I found that technique online. It's you get like tissue paper, like Kleenex. You pinch it to make waves, coat it in PVA glue, wait for a day, paint it, wait for a day, and then again just like coat it in like gloss in regular paint gloss. So that worked out nice.
Yeah, this is a different perspective of Namek in diorama form. It was really nice to watch. Yep. Let's have a look at this spirit bomb being made. So these like the glow is edited, right? Like the glow Goku's having, right?
you've got to light it a bit.
Yep.
And I mean, I don't use Photoshop. Like, I don't know how to use it. I've just got a couple of apps. So my power up effects aren't as good as I've seen others do. I don't like to use too many editing effects. I try to do as much as I can, but obviously, you know, you can't create that for real. I mean, you can use the plastic things they've got, but I don't love those.
It just doesn't look that good.
The effects.
Yeah. Pretty nice. Let's keep going down. If there's any photos you want to talk, let's talk about these ones, John. Like the ancient Rome style diorama. Is this another diorama you've got? Is it like?
So that's the same grassy level as the Ghost of Tsushima one, and then I simply produced like a little platform, and I think those pillars are like. They're either like wedding cake toppers or something that you'd have on like a wedding reception desk. Again, my missus sourced them for me. The tops it's called cornicing or like crown molding.
Yes,
in like a fancy house, you'd have them in the top corner of your house. So I just did those and painted them.
Now it's really nice to see how things come together and gives us a vibe of a different era. You know, it's just really nice to see come together. And this lighting, like what sort of lighting have you used like to put this effect? Like
again, that's the TV behind, so I've just got to try and light the foreground with the same color as the what I get on the telly. So sometimes I'll airplay a picture or like a screenshot from the games or from the movie or whatever, and I'll have to change the saturation or the density or whatever. You have to turn the TV brightness all the way down, or else it's backlit way too much. And then when you light, which and then the next morning, my wife will be trying to watch something. She's like, "Why is the brightness so low?"
That's was a bit of an issue.
And then when you put your lamps up as well, the lamps will glare off the telly, so you have to position your lamps carefully so that you're not getting glare.
Absolutely.
I think this one was done before the God Loki came out.
I didn't get it. I mean, it looks really nice, but I was like, I'm happy with that one. That's okay. This is the first comic. Like I've got 3 comics here where they're not funny. They're just supposed to be cool. And I was just sort of conceptualizing how Doomsday might happen. You know.
Yeah, definitely. We'll definitely be seeing a scene where Doctor Doom reaches the end of time. And has this sort of confrontation with Loki. Everything. Definitely.
The one next to that, I think, with Thanos, that's directly from the comics. Where he just like pulls the spine out.
Oh, the spine scene. Oh, yeah. You offer me a gift. Infinity Gauntlet gave me that.
The dialogue doesn't make loads of sense outside of the context, but I just sort of copied it as much as I could. But then the next scene. It's just this really cool spine ripping shot. Nope.
Oh yeah, there. Also, this is like actual skeleton figure, I think.
Yeah, I've got a skeleton figure. Obviously, Thanos would be bigger, so it's not quite right. But then I took photo, but then I sort of edited the picture. Yeah, so I recreated that.
Pretty sick, yeah. I've got this S-Hero Doom as well. I didn't go for the new Hot Toys one. I just like this one quite a bit more than the newer one. Yeah.
I'll wait for the Robert Downey Jr. one, I suppose.
So here's the Prey diorama, I guess.
Again, that's the same. That's the same grassy base. So let's reuse it, and then pop some trees and some foliage in there.
So how did you manage to get this effect, like this disappearing effect? Like,
so I take a photo with the figure, and then I remove the figure and take the same photo. And that allows me to basically like cover it, and I use that technique to get rid of stains, and then also just with that as well. And then I just, I think one of the apps I used had like a little hexagon effect.
I really like the smoke machine you have. It's so so nice. And
cool. It's a local Hong Kong company. That's cool. I think for one of these shots, I'll tell you a technique I use sometimes. I don't know if it's this one or the next one, where I've got a real close up.
Let me know which one.
Yeah,
this one or this
might be that one.
This one? Okay.
Might be that one. Well, maybe at the end of the 3. So I've done three posts. So if you go to
yeah.
So and it's up.
Yeah, this one. Yeah.
Let's see. Yeah. So if you keep going along. Okay, so actually this is interesting. So yeah, this one is a combination of a bit of just like I just added green afterwards, but I did use a glow stick. So I shook up a glow stick and broke it and popped it on for the glow in the dark blood. And this will make your toes curl because I put it on the figure and then I wiped it on. And it did like melt. It took off some of the paint. Took off some of the brand new figure. And like I don't mind though because I get to use it. And then for the last shot, which is a close up of his face, if you really want good beads of sweat on the figure, the way I do it is to like have a little sip of water, get close to the figure, and go and spit on it.
Spit on that thing.
I did that for the Ripley figure in Alien, and this one as well. I think when I did some of like Riddick years ago, because in the Riddick, it was glistening with sweat, So I was really happy with how that turned out. The green was just edited on that time, but the sweat is all there. If you go up, actually, a really good thing. I tell you what, I can show you this in person. The Last of Us stuff.
Yeah, the Last of Us stuff. Yeah.
So that one is I just used some stuff I already had, and then I just added lots of extra green to it. So this didn't take too long to sort of kit bash the diorama. But then the next one in the middle, I think, is with so the next post, excuse me.
The post, let's go to the next one. This scene. So
this is like I made this and I can show you it in person. And it was so much fun to make and so gross. This
actually looks like the basement scene, like in the game when he goes down and finds this.
So there it is.
Zombie,
So what I did was I've got a couple of like cheap, you always end up. Well, for me, I always end up with a cheap third-party soldier or something, and I actually just went at his head and cut out his eyes and his nose. Got this lynching. These are like little strips of foam for the mushrooms, and then a glue gun to make these sort of lines.
Oh, pretty sick! Yeah.
And one of his feet is bare. One of them is still
one. His feet is bare.
Cut up his body a bit.
I even commented amazing 42 weeks ago.
And then to get a tricky thing as well, to get it to look like his torch is shining a single beam of light. I had to wrap my lamp with a bit of foam to just get that circular spotlight effect.
Yeah, this purple thing we see here.
Yeah,
sort of projecting that light onto the diorama. Yeah.
And then the other shot as well, which is, so the last post, which is just him with his rifle.
This one. Yeah.
I did make those little
these ones,
those little concrete barricades. Yeah, which spent time doing them for something which really it's not really central to the photo. And what turned out really nice was this is like fish tank
fish tank stuff.
They just painted it red. So I
like the cylinders as well, like the cylinders in the back, those miniature cylinders. I think.
Yeah, is it a pencil sharpener? I think.
Okay.
Here's one. And I think if you unscrew it. Oh, it's a pen. Look at that.
Oh, it's a pen.
Yeah.
That is pretty unique. Like
little propane bottle. Yeah.
Love it. What about these? So these are from these red things are from the
Fish tank.
aquarium things,
Fish tank.
is it? Like
Yeah.
fish tank, yeah, fish tank. Oh, yeah. Let's keep going down a bit
Assassin's
more.
Creed. If you go to Ezio there, so up to Ezio.
Up. Oh yeah, this one. Yeah.
Not the middle one. Sorry, one of the other two. That was I think I reposted that from a few years ago. But this one of Ezio running on the roof.
Let me try to find it. Where is it?
I think we go back.
This
up.
one. Go
No.
back up.
Go back up, maybe.
There.
There we go. That one there.
On the right,
This.
bottom right.
Oh yeah, this one. Yeah. Sorry,
Yeah,
guys.
yeah, that's it. That's right.
Yeah. So this, I spent a long time making this rooftop and this roof. So every tile there.
Oh, sick.
Yeah. So that's all handmade.
Handmade.
Every
Oh
tile
my God.
done on.
Yes.
Yeah.
Mm.
And then the problem with that one is you spend so long making it, and then you can't fit the whole thing into a shot. Really, it's tricky to capture.
Yeah, it's just the limitations 1:6. Like figures so big, and the background can just come a little bit. It's just one of the limitations. But definitely, it was good to know that this is made singly. How long did it take? Like I can't imagine how long.
That was a couple of nights to do the roof, but then a lot of projects were on and off. I wanted to make rooftops for a while, but I could never really get the details to pop. But just below, between the roof and the windows, is that roof edge is again, it's crown molding. I'll show you a piece of it because I still got some lying around. But it looks like this.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, and I ordered this online. They like chop it up to give it to me, but I was like, that's fine. It's made of stuff that it does not stick together. So you've got to be really creative with how to stick it together with screws and with glue gun, and then a bit of masking tape here and there. I cut some of it off to make middle of the window you can see, and then the balustrade is like shelf balustrade. I had that in my house as a kid above the phone. Like we had shelves. And it was this ugly kitchen shelves with those little Italian style banisters. I've had to learn language for some of this stuff. There's another roof set I've got, and it has this shape on it, and I wanted that shape, but I didn't even know how to describe what it was until eventually I got fleur de lis. So a fleur de lis is a concrete. It's not really even a flower, but it's just a flower shape. Here we go. Have I got it here?
Yeah.
Here we go. This is magnetized. So here's my other rooftop, and it was this.
Oh, nice.
How do you Google search that, right?
Yeah, that's right. What do you type? It's like such a niche thing.
But it so I learned, it's called a masonry decoration.
Masonry. Oh, nice. Masonry decoration. Yeah.
And then the back of this one is a cool technique where this is a Panadol pill holder. Like when you get medicine out of a box. So that's like where a tablet would be. And then I think the battery's gone out on this now, but that's that lights up, and then that fits together with a bunch of other pieces to be a roof. Yeah.
That is so nice. That is so creative as well. To imagine this sort of stuff must take a lot of imagination. Would you say, John?
Yeah, it's a lot of problem solving and a lot of kind of fiddling and fixing things. That rooftop is really heavy, but the walls that it rests on are made of foam board. So you've got to find a way of supporting the weight
of the figure,
of because the roof they're mini ceramic tiles. They're made of actual ceramic.
Yeah.
When you get a bag of it, it's like twice the weight of a bag of sugar. And it's heavy. So that rooftop weighs a ton, but the walls are made of like sort of paper, right? So it's got to like be supported by a bunch of things. Yeah.
So how did you like balance it? Like, did you put some stuff from underneath and stuff, or
there's a couple, like I had to make legs out of
out of
wood to go in the back of it. Yeah, but I made that obviously also with thinking like, how am I going to store it? So it has to come apart into pieces. I can't build a 1/6 building and then just have it there. It has to be stored. So I think I can show you. It all fits into this bag. So that's that building, and it just fits in a bag.
Oh, nice.
Oh my god.
Hard. It's actual 1/6 accessory. You know, if you want to do these kind of photos for our viewers, you gotta have these sort of large things. Yeah, just amazing dedication from Jon to be achieving this kind of greatness. So before we wrap up, we'll just have a look at a couple more shots. Is there any other shots you want to talk about, Jon? Like,
I think gone through most of. Well, I've got the Doctor Doom castle is pretty cool, I suppose. I tell you what. Sorry, let me show you my cyberpunk stuff. Yeah, so those Batman of the future. You can see the purple and green ones. Yeah,
is it this? Yeah. Okay. Yeah.
Yes, that's actually a repost from a few years ago, but you can't see much of it. But that's the biggest environment I've produced.
Okay.
I made it around the time the cyberpunk game came out. And I combined a bunch of my little factory buildings and things, but then I just went crazy with LEDs. So like a lot of those lights
light up. So this light up here is practical.
The fire isn't. I think I just used a lamp. But what you can see behind those lights are. I used the
actually lighting up.
I used the laser cutter in the workshop at my school to make like these holographic looking lights, like street lights. And that LED lamp, I bought that from the electronics market. The cat,
this cat here in the back
it's from a car company that does like light up decals and stuff, and they gave me a discount and let me have that a bit cheaper if I've sort of promoted them. But the whole cyberpunk scene is it gets really hot because there's loads of LEDs and stuff, and then you put all the smoke together. And for Ink there, which is a character from Batman Beyond, I used I think a third-party Trinity.
This one, this character is called Ink. I didn't know that.
So the head isn't there really. I used a third-party Trinity, mixed it together with a third-party like female symbiote figure. So it's a combination of figures there. But then the head is just a close-up of like Venom's eye, which I captured in the same light because I wanted the purple and the green to flash off it. And then I just had to sort of make it bigger and clone it and produce the face, because that just doesn't exist.
But
there's a great episode of Batman Beyond where he fights Ink, and then Old Man Bruce comes to rescue him in this like armored suit. So that one was really So I used Keaton, which like, why don't we get a Batman Beyond film with Keaton, right?
That's right. We did get it like in Flash, sort of. Yeah, that's the best we're gonna get, I guess.
Yeah, I mean, he was the best part of that film. Yeah.
This is obviously the Batman diorama. For the last one, which one would you like to tell us about?
That's probably enough. I could go on forever, I suppose. I mean, I've got like a little living room where
this one. Yeah, let's talk about the Doctor Doom.
Is good fun. Oh yeah, Doom. Yeah, Doom stat worked out really nice. Yeah, so a lot of that is from Toys Nest. So that's a company that makes all sorts of stuff. But yeah, okay, I got the fridge. That's like a Barbie kitchenette, I think, which I painted a long time ago. But the actual castle, I bought that, but then I did have to customize the chair. So the throne was just like a red high back chair, and I had to like cut it to pieces and then stick like extra Doom elements onto it, which you can see if you scroll back. Yeah, turned out well.
Yeah. I really love the throne. It feels like, you know, it's inside a castle. Like,
that worked out nice.
Definitely. So yeah, I mean, we could go on all day with this. So guys, follow Avengergram on Instagram. Awesome page, you know, and if you want to see some really cool, you know, toy photography with BTS 1x6, you know, just follow Avengergram. Shout out to you again, John.
Thanks, man.
Yeah.
Cool. So, John, are you drawn to a Pacific universe, Marvel, DC, Star Wars, or do you collect purely based on what excites you?
Most it's Marvel, I suppose, to begin with. But then, I mean, I think favorite superheroes like Superman and Batman, really, as a combination. Just extremes, right? When I was at university, I wrote an essay on a Jeff Lowe Batman Superman comic, and it got me a scholarship. Like, I did well.
Congrats.
So I think it's Superman and Batman, Volume 1 by Jeff Lowe. The opening is this dual narrative, and it's so well written. And I wrote an essay on how it was put together, and then how I would use that to teach. Because it was on my teaching degree, and it got me money, like, because I wrote that essay. It began with DC, Marvel, but then, and I do like Star Wars, but I thought there's so much there. So I didn't really get Star Wars to begin with, but when Mandalorian came out, I really loved that. So I got that.
Nice.
And then after that, it was once you go outside of what you originally intended to get, then it just becomes anything. So
absolutely.
It's once in a while I'll get something where I haven't even like seen the source material. So I think one or two of the Assassin's Creed games I haven't played, but I have played the others. So just anything that looks cool, anything that I think has potential, anything that I can reuse.
Nice. Cool.
So John, I've got a very interesting question for you. Like, seeing all your awesome setups and dioramas, like, let's say in a event of a natural disaster, like an earthquake or a house fire, or like something, or a burst pipe in the house, which you pray and hope not that doesn't happen. What are the 3 figures you're gonna take and run from your collection? And it doesn't include the family. Like, what are the 3 figures?
I probably get the latest Spider-Man, like no at the end of No Way Home. So
nice.
I need a Spider-Man.
Yeah, awesome.
Maybe Groot, just because, like, good memories taking a holiday, being able to take a holiday again.
Yeah, definitely.
And then maybe Deadpool. Like, Deadpool is really good quality.
Which one? Like, which Deadpool?
I guess like the most recent one. Like, I've got 3 because the original, just the leather broke down because I used it so much.
The leather is gone. Yeah, that leather is so bad. Like,
I took it on a trip to Canada with like a Wolverine figure and tried to do a shoot in the snow. But it was so cold, like the wrist pegs broke because it was really cold and brittle. So I got a couple of good shots with them here and there, but I do have figures that are in really bad condition, which some collectors are like.
Years, like 10 years.
Yeah, but it's also like I've got so much use out of them, so much use, and I cut the head off a figure, but that's because like I'm not using it otherwise, and I'm doubtful that I can sell it because
that's right.
They depreciate so quickly, and they're no longer limited edition things. Hot Toys will come back and make them again later.
Do a 2.0, 3.0, it just
so like,
reduces
of course, I try my best to take care of them and take care of the ones that are really, really pristine and stuff. But a lot of them, like my Star-Lord, the jacket is trashed. I've got Spider, which are pretty beat up.
Yeah.
But just because they're very well used, you know.
I'm still stuck at where you said you cut the Batman's head off.
It doesn't move. Like for example, the BVS Ben Affleck one, they released two versions, like a deluxe and a non-deluxe. Non-deluxe, the head doesn't move. So it's
the one that the tactical suit with the sunglasses. So I cut the head, and then I used clay to make like a sort of tiered back instead. So I cut the head off.
You are evil. You are a pure evil man. Yeah.
Yes, he's just saying that because he's a huge Batman fan and he's got a Batman tattoo. I don't know how many, and I don't know where it is. In some private parts as well, probably. Like he's just a huge Batman fan.
I just have one on my hand, but that's good because I know what happens with the figures. They lose the value, and even if you keep them in a perfect condition, that's true. Things starts coming out. The technical suit when the chest parts from me and the Batman is coming out, and then I try to. It is what it is, and then you can sell them because, as you said, the value. I have sold my 1x6 almost at zero price because I wanted most.
Exactly. Sometimes you just need them gone. Like
I remember it was about 6 months before Stan Lee died, and I'd wanted a Stan Lee figure for a while, and they just weren't available anymore because it had been released about 2 years prior. So my wife paid top dollar for a pre-owned one, but it was sort of mostly mint in box, and I got it, and she paid quite a bit of money for it. And I took some of my best photos ever of like Spidey holding him and swinging through the city. Really nice photos. Went onto a rooftop, got some nice photos in the sunset, and then like a month later, after I'd got those shots, he passed away, and I posted them as a tribute and stuff. And the number of people were like, "I'll buy that figure off you," and the price of it just went up phenomenally because someone had died. It was like, what, I remember when Doctor Strange, when Infinity War came out, and Doctor Strange has that fight with Thanos, which was so cool. In Hong Kong, at least, everyone wanted a Doctor Strange figure. I could have sold my Doctor Strange movie one for about 10 times what I got it for. Because then 3 weeks later, Hot Toys made a new one. And people did. People bought, they bought the first Doctor Strange movie figure at 5 to 10 times the price instead of just waiting. And it's crazy how some collectors depend on that.
I know. I sold one of the figures third party. I can't even recall. I think it was Batman or something. And then within next day, when I sold it at a pretty good price, Hot Toys announced it, and I was like, just went at the right time. Next day nobody would have bought this. It was a third-party figure, so sometimes you can use some.
And I never buy one thinking that I can make any money on it, or I can even sell it again. I have sold a few recently because it's the space. So I think recently I sold the white symbiote Spider-Man. I thought, I got a couple of shots of it and then put it back in the box. I sold it for a little bit less than what I got it for. I think I got X23, but I just my car and I needed to pay to get my car fixed. So without opening it, I sold it, and it went for just above what I got it for, which was crazy. I didn't think.
It's a good figure.
It's a good deal.
Yeah, I wanted that because my daughter did a cosplay of X23. Went to Comic-Con, so I wanted to keep that figure. The minute it was announced, I said, okay. And I have plenty of Wolverines with me, so
that's right. I basically skipped that one because I definitely know they're gonna give her a costume in Doomsday, and at that point this one would become a bit like, now I have two X23, so I'm just gonna wait for the Doomsday one. So that was my sort of thinking.
And with InArt and J&D coming up with even more expensive figures and crazy details.
InArt's still stuck in the past though. Like InArt's still making figures from like movies like Harry Potter, BVS. Like they still haven't probably caught on. Like
but
Hot
good
Toys,
for us.
yeah, definitely. So John, some of your awesome, Hot Toys photography probably has been shared by some celebrities in the past, right? Like, do you want to tell us a bit about that, like how it felt to be shared by those Avengers stars and all, like?
Yeah, that was quite scary, to be honest.
Yeah.
Was I think, earlier to that, I remember posting something, or maybe I'd emailed a friend or something with something that got shared around, and it shouldn't have. Like there was something a little bit private that went out, and it made me think that the internet can really blow things up and take things in a bad direction. When that got shared, I thought, oh my goodness, I don't want to be the center of attention. I don't want that, But people liked it, and then some people didn't like it, some people liked it, and you thought, well, that's okay. It doesn't matter. So, Stanley, whoever runs Stanley's page, at least, I felt like when he was around, it might have been him, because it was like old man style posting. He'd write pixels.
That's right.
But he probably has someone to do it for him, right? And at least like he would have seen it, because he would have probably had to approve, or at least he
that's right.
So it's cool to know that like Stanley saw something. That's really cool.
Yeah.
Robert Downey Jr. shared a couple, and then when he finally tagged me, that was a cool, definitely.
Yeah, I remember seeing that. Yeah.
And then I think, Ryan Reynolds did a bit, which was easier at the time. I think he was getting his gin company up and running. So I made a post where he was like vacuuming up. I think I did one where he was vacuuming up the ashes of like people who'd been dusted. And then one where he used the tears of the surviving Avengers to like water the fruit tree that makes the gin. Posted about that. So that's him. Now I'm doing him a favor really by like plugging his brand. But
that's true.
but Hugh Jackman's an interesting one though, because he shared a few, and he reached out via somebody else's profile. So he said, "Oh, can you give me this photo?" And I get a lot of people who message me weird stuff, and I was like, "All right, it's here, but you can just screen grab it or whatever." And then I look back at the message, and it was HJ. I went because Hugh Jackman then posted it, and I thought, oh, this was him. He was asking for it.
Oh, nice.
So then I tag him and he'd share it, and then he reached out to me on the 20th anniversary of X-Men and said, maybe you want to post something. And I was like, yes, sir. But then what was really cool with HJ, and he doesn't really reply to me as much anymore. He's got other things to do. But for a little while, he would have a chat with me. And it was him, and sometimes he's got a publicist who's introduced herself to me as well. But it was genuinely him. And I remember when my son was born, I posted, I sent him a picture of my son and said, my son's just been born. When he grows up, I think I'd have amazing credit if he got my dad got Hugh Jackman to say like "Welcome to the world" to my son. So I said, can you just say something? Can you just write something? And he wrote a nice message. Nice. He also, around after like Greatest Showman came out, I work in a school, and some of the kids perform one of the songs, and I sent him a video of it, and he wanted to share it. He was like, "Oh, can you? I want to congratulate them, and I want to share it." And we couldn't make it work because it was like a private profile and so on. But because I didn't want to post my kid's video on my Avengergram page, because it's not teachers shouldn't do that. I had the kid's permission to send it to him, but I didn't want to post it publicly and stuff. So it didn't work out, but he still congratulated them, and that gave me massive teacher credit, of course, as well.
That's right.
And then a really nice story is when I had a student doing this presentation, and he was talking about the film Real Steel, which is a great Hugh Jackman film.
Yeah, that's right.
Such a fun film. And this boy had his dad had died like 3 weeks prior, and he was a real troublemaker kid. But I sort of really tried to be really gentle and understanding with him, of course. And he talked about Real Steel, and about how, the film has this father-son dynamic that was really important to him, and he reflected on that because his dad had passed away. So I just told, I messaged Hugh Jackman, said, I just thought you'd like to know this. And then he sort of had a chat with me about it and said, I'm really grateful that you told me this. It's really, really nice. And then more recently, I think when Deadpool and Wolverine was coming out, he would tag me and stuff, even though I hadn't done anything. So he just wanted to like get me involved or get me to promote it more. And then I did take some photos just of me at the cinema. And then he reposted that, and I was like, "That's my face!
Nice.
Oh, that's my face!" And then I think he was filming in the UK, and I did say, "Look, man, I'm filming in the UK. Is there any chance I could like swing by and just give you a high five?" And that's when his publicist was like, "Oh no, we hang on, like let's circle back because he's doing promotion for a different film right now, and he's doing this, and he's doing this."
Yeah,
so
definitely.
Obviously, they've got to be careful with keeping fans at arm's length and stuff. But yeah,
that's right,
being able to chat to him has been really cool. Yeah.
Awesome.
Yeah, that's pretty amazing, especially when we collectors are so much into these characters and then the actors who are playing them. When you get to chance to talk to them, meet them. Yeah, that's a great honor.
That's right.
Okay. Guys, I have a deadlock. I have to be out of the call.
That's fine. Yeah, we'll catch you later, bro. Yeah. No worries. Thanks for
meeting you all. Yeah, it's good to be here with you guys. All the best, all of them.
All the best.
Right, take care, man.
Good to see you.
Cool.
Yeah,
See you, bud.
So I'll just ask his part. Yeah. So John, now that we know, you've done all this amazing work, and it sort of got rewarded from the celebrities, being promoted by them, and being shared by them, definitely is rewarding, definitely. So I wanted to ask, like, what are your thoughts on the 1x6 collector community in the past and in the present? And are there any collector groups or collector groups you would recommend our audiences to join to improve their 1x6 photography? Because the problem with 1x6 is a lot of people just put the figure on a stand with a kitchen background and just in a shelf background with a lot of other things and just take a photo and just get it done with. So what is your recommendation for those collectors? Like,
I mean, everyone collects differently. Some people like to just get it and keep it in the box. If that's what they want to do, then sure.
Right.
Others, I understand. Like when you put it in a museum pose, I still think it has like amazing shelf presence. That could be really fun. I mean, putting your Spider-Man into a Spider-Man swinging pose is awesome, but yeah, it'll crease the material and it sort of can self-heal at times, but it also can get a bit damaged. So it depends what you want to do. As for communities, I mean, action figure maniacs like yourself, like there's really great about you guys group is that there's this really nice range of stuff. So it's not all just 1/6.
No.
Silly stuff on there, and there's some really professional stuff, and then there's some really amateur stuff, which shows that people are like willing to share what they've got and not feel intimidated, which is really
definitely.
There's a couple of pages that I share too, but I wouldn't say they really have a particular kind of identity to them beyond whether or not they're very active or they chit chat. There was one called like 6th scale posers, which was more about the posing aspect of it. I think there's a lot of them that are really good, but like I'd say is it Zord's photography who like he really puts some
Zord, that's right.
And then like there was one called 1/6 Republic, which some of the groups end up being a bit gossipy at times. Like no one in particular, but they kind of had a bit of a feud with another toy page. 1/6 Kit, like Kit is he does a lot of third party stuff. Lives around the corner from me in Hong Kong, it turns out.
Nice.
So we've got a good kind of shorthand. Him and I met him once, but I think he really tries to keep his identity, to himself.
Very secret. Yep.
But 1/6 kit is pretty good fun. Again, a bit of gossip on there. It's sort of like, oh, this customer says he's being ripped off or whatever. But there's some good gossip on there. But I suppose like the groups, it's just about telling people that their photos are nice and sharing techniques. I suppose it's individuals on Instagram really that you can use to inspire you. You know, what's difficult is I can't always remember their names because everyone's name is a bit sort of fun.
It's very different.
But
yeah,
like off the top of my head, like Aya Valatu, like I follow him and have him.
I think he's doing work for Hot Toys now as well, like with his
he does, which is really awesome for him. I mean, I got a little bit of work from one or two companies a while back, but then I asked not to do it anymore because I just couldn't keep up with the pressure of doing it. Hot Toys, I reached out to them once or twice, but I think that I don't take as good a quality pictures, basically, which is I'm fine with that. Because what I go for is silly stories. But also like Lawless Studios, he makes like great dioramas. Zeke Zach Zoom is a guy called Sunny from Singapore who came to Hong Kong once and I met him. He does like Lego and he does these little bits and bobs, and they're really, really creative with light. As I've said, like Zord photography. E.T. Gerald does really awesome like Dragon Ball.
Oh yeah, E.T. Gerald. Yep, he's an active member of AFM as well from Malaysia. Shout out to E.T. Gerald.
Shiga Toy Studio is the best at like the particles, like going outdoors and capturing those. And I mean, you know, Boss Logic. Actually, not as a toy.
Boss Logic, yeah.
Not as a kid, but somebody who you know works with that kind of like digital art and stuff, and pop culture. I love following him as well. Kill Cutter Photo. There's I can't remember all their names, but there's a lot, and there's not so much. Well, they do have a group. Some of them do have groups and stuff, but I'm not really a member of them in particular. And as I said,
that's right. Yep, and I have to say we are very honored for your presence in AFM as well. I think Instafigurine is stuck.
Question. Yes. So John, we have a question. Like, so if you have any advice for the AFM community, all the new joiners who's joining to the AFM community right now. Yes.
One more time, sorry.
If you have any piece of advice for the AFM community new joiners.
Oh yeah. Again, with toy photography, I suppose it can be a little bit intimidating. There's some people out there who are really, really good at it, and they may not have the nice figures. You can't build the newest thing. I think you know you just got to try and enjoy it the way that you want to. The way I did it originally wasn't how many people were doing it. You know, there's a guy called Wire Hon who doesn't have the latest figures. He's got about 8 Hot Toys, I think, and there's some of the older ones, and he does forced perspective shots, and he's got a lot of it. It's like his wife is holding him while he's having a conversation with Batman or something.
Right.
And he sets up the picture to make it look like the figure is full size, and that's his thing. And photos aren't like these really vibrant action shots; they're just sort of these candid, day-to-day things. I think. You know, I'd tell collectors like really experiment with light a lot.
Yeah, that's right. Lights,
and to make a little diorama, you know, I don't think you have to be really, really artistic to make a little backdrop with some grass or something. But it really tunes your eye and your attention to detail. Like I live in Hong Kong, so I walk around these like factory buildings and stuff, and I'm like looking at air conditioners, like, oh, how can I reproduce that? Or like vents, and then when I'm in Japan and looking at cherry blossoms and stuff, I'm like, well, how can I make that? So it really gets your creativity going. So more than anything, it's just to enjoy it, you know.
Yes, that's a very important thing. Do you have anything to say about the AI thing? People are using AI right now too much.
Yeah, so I think you've done a recent
whole action figure.
Yeah, I posted about AI like yesterday.
Yeah. I
because
saw that. Yeah.
I mean, I'm a teacher, so students are using AI, and I understand for some of them, it's like in Hong Kong at least, they're under a lot of pressure, so they're using it as a bit of a shortcut because they're just overwhelmed. But when it gets to the point where we're reading a book and we say, "Oh, this is a book about morality, right?" What can you give me an example of like a moral that you were brought up with, you know? Like from your own experience? And then they type that into ChatGPT, and I go, "I'm not looking for a right answer. I'm looking for a personal answer." And that's really important.
Answer,
and when you use AI for anything, really, I feel like you're just outsourcing your brain. And if you don't use your brain, it won't work. You know, I like to be quite creative, and I've done a couple of creative projects for my school where I've started not knowing where it's going to go, and I've had to problem solve as I go through. And I love problem solving that way. And AI just skips to the end. And I think you can use it effectively for some things. And obviously there's AI systems in some of the apps I use, which, you know, if you want to key out a color or you want to add a PNG, a transparent PNG or something, there's a degree of AI in that. But skipping to the end is really frustrating. And you've got to think as well, where's this software come from, and whose benefit fitting from it? You know, in education at least, we teachers are being told to use it. We're being told by like education experts, we're being told by AI companies, "Oh, this will help you grade stuff, or this will help students do their homework." And it's like, well, you're only in it for money. You know, you say you want to improve student experience in education, but the evidence is that the use of laptops and stuff is really harmed kids' development, their cognition, their problem solving.
That's right.
So to use AI for toy photography just takes away that learning curve where you've got to figure out lighting. I'm lighting a shot now, and I have to try and light the figures, but keep the background a little dark. So I have to point the lights in a particular way. But if you point the lights to the camera, you get a haze. So you have to block the light and direct the light really, really carefully. I've posed these figures as well, and I have used a stand, which I'll key out, but then I've got other stands which I try to hide behind the leg or something, so I won't have to do it later. And then I've got the angle, and I then have to think, am I going to post this portrait or landscape or square? When I do a picture with dialogue, I have to think where the dialogue's going to go. And on Instagram, there's a little box in the corner that will hide the dialogue because it says, you know, it says like 1 of 4. So I have to put it somewhere else. So there's all these things that I've learned over the years that the AI just skips. And yeah, but I'll be honest. So like part of it to me is like having integrity to do things right. But I questioned my integrity yesterday because when I posted that, I did it because the last thing I posted about AI got a lot more. My complaint got a lot more attention than my actual work. So really, I was like rage baiting people or like getting people to have a conversation about something, because my Facebook now, like I can get like $5 a month if I get some likes and views and stuff. So I felt like, oh, I shouldn't be posting this just to get more likes, just to get money or whatever. But I do care about it. It is something that I do care about. So I'm happy to post that and talk about it. And if I think
it was very important what you posted, John, because this is just one example of the AI things we are seeing. This guy, he's generating a fake BTS to justify his work.
Really,
that's what concerns me. You know, the generating a. I get it. You generate, like, I'm talking on perspective of that guy. We're not gonna name him, obviously. He's generating a photo of Magneto floating or Punisher sitting there, you know, and he's trying to justify saying, "Oh, it's actually real. I've got this BTS, like, you know, refer to the BTS." So that's a bit. That's where the integrity and morality sort of comes in. He's actually deceiving his audience, and he's actually limiting comments, like turning off comments to avoid backlash. So it's actually good that you've called this out without obviously mentioning any names. But
call it out.
Yeah,
I was thinking about it because again, I'm getting pressure from my workplace to use more AI. And we've had these service providers come in and say you could use this platform. And I said, have you done an environmental impact evaluation on your platform? How many gallons of water are used every time I log into this or a student uses this? And people in the room laughed. I was like, it matters, or like, and they said, oh, well, our platform sort of piggybacks off OpenAI and things like that. And you go, well, do you know who like they're politically affiliated with? Are you okay using a platform whose CEO behaves in this particular way or puts money into this particular affiliation? And AI removes you from consequence, from thinking about the environment. It removes you from the creative entirely. When my students, when I've made loads of notes on the board, sometimes the bell rings and my students go, oh, can I take a photo of it? And I go, why haven't you been making notes? And they go, oh, I'm sorry, can I take a photo? And I go, when you take a photo of anything on your phone, you're telling your brain, don't worry about this, brain. You don't need to remember it. My phone's got it. Will you look back at that photo later? There's a good chance you won't. I take photos of stuff all the time to remind myself of stuff. And then maybe I'm looking at like 5 minutes later, like, oh yeah, I forgot. So I think again, it's technology as a way of like outsourcing your thinking, the creative process. So yeah, I made that post because I do care about it, but I also made the post to try and get a couple more views on my page because those Ghost of Yotei pictures, I'm really happy with how they turned out, and I absolutely loved the process. And it was just a shame no one really saw it. That being said, my biggest fans are my mum and my wife, who like all my posts, and that's all I care about, really.
Definitely. That was really good to hear, all of your takes, and it just really matters who we want our content to be liked by. As you mentioned, your mom and your wife, they're your biggest supporters. That's really good to know. And with the AI, I think it's just gonna keep getting worse, and people are gonna keep generating these fake BTS more and more down the track. But I guess sticking to your craft is what's important, John. And if you've been doing everything tangibly so far, putting in the effort, making these dioramas, and it has been inspiring us for all these years, and definitely the community thanks you for that.
Yeah, I'm thankful for the community. I've learned so much.
Definitely. So we're at the end of the podcast. Thank you again, John, for taking this time to chat with us. We are very honored to finally have a conversation with you, and obviously see your awesome works on AFM. So hopefully we'll have you as a guest for our upcoming new segments where we talk about action figure photography and a few other things related to pop culture. Until then, I'll see everyone in the next podcast, and peace out.
Thank you, John. Thank you, everyone.
Thanks so much, guys. All right, bye-bye.
Bye.
Thank you.